Hi guys, so today we're going to be talking about immunity, and I have a special guest with me, Dr. Bashkar. We're going to be, trying to deep dive into figuring out what causes weakened immune systems in kids. And what we're going to start off with the first point, which is
poor
yeah,
food tech
poor
habits.
diet, for poor eating habits at the end of the day. So the truth is, in this moment in time, at this time period, where we're finding that because people quote unquote have less time to prepare healthy meals, they tend to fall back into like depending on foods that aren't good for us. Not even us as adults, but especially worse for the kids who are growing and developing, who need go, grow, and glow foods. Right.
Right.
So nowadays we tend to find that they're eating more like processed food, like fast foods, which is high in fats. So that's saturated and trans fat, fatty acids. We're finding that they're eating more sugary foods, like they like what ice cream and cakes and with sweeties and stuff like that. And I mean, we've kind of tried to abate it in general by making vitamin gummies for kids to indulge in. But even that, i- we don't want to try to make it a habit for them to want all these sweet and chewy like foods. Another thing that we found is that persons, they're not really focusing on trying to give their kids vegetables because they might try to feed them like once and the kid is like, no, I don't want it. But if you don't find a way to like trick them into eating green leafy vegetables and fruits, right, it kind of makes it difficult for them to even develop a taste or find out that it's important to have these foods in their diet. And not only does it weaken their immune system, but it affects their GI system, meaning it prevents them from pooing well. Like, we've been seeing a lot of constipation now.
Constipation, and they're not getting enough calories, vitamins for
Right.
their growth and development.
Right. And I think one other thing is the processed food, they're, what do you call, what you kind of call those calories? Like, they don't add any value. They're low value calories. So they just contribute to them putting on weight.
Yes.
And then this weight, it does affect person's physical activities. Because we found that that kids who are overweight or going on to being obese, they don't really want to move that much because they feel tired all the time. They feel, some of them, they don't want to go around other kids because they may not like how they look. And you tend to find that being more prevalent, especially as they grow up into being adolescents and teens.
Teens, right.
And so having that kind of sedentary lifestyle is not good. We're finding that some of the bigger kids, they're getting sicker. They're actually having worsened form of different illnesses, right?
Yes, like asthma is difficult to control.
Yeah.
And teenager, they're going to develop diabetes mellitus.
From early, and
Yes.
even that is hard because that's a chronic illness. And the truth is, even adults find it difficult to come to terms with these chronic illnesses. Imagine a child that now has to be taking insulin if they can't manage oral medication.
Right.
Another thing that we've kind of found that affects immunity is their sleeping habits.
Right. Sleeping is a very important part of child life. Minimum 8 to 10 hours, which required for their growth, development. But
Right.
nowadays, we have challenge.
Yeah. And
because of gadgets, electronic gadgets.
the gadgets are like driving us crazy. Cause not only are they spending more time using it, but even like TV, like they'll be on the internet exploring and looking at things that not even we're aware that they're looking at. And then they become drawn into always being stimulated by Peppa Pig or Paw Patrol, or for some games, Minecraft, or even Candy Crush, and those really exciting games. And it's preventing them from even wanting to go to sleep Because when you're so stimulated, like it takes a time for the mind to calm down, for them to be able to focus and say, all right, it's time to settle down. They're hyperactive. Um, and the poor sleep hygiene. How does that really affect the immunity? What's your take on it?
Yes, we were sleeping, it promotes for growth and
Mhm.
development.
Mhm.
During sleep, lot of processing happen in the body as well as in the brain.
Yeah.
Yes,
Even digestion actually is better whenever somebody is sitting down and relaxing and
right,
sleeping.
right.
Right. The next thing that we wanted to talk about is vaccines.
No, before vaccine, we call like physical activity.
Right,
So
yeah.
children require good enough physical activity.
Activity like running up and down, playing.
Yes.
And then we also use it in schools because schools now they're using more devices, so even that is preventing them from going outside because they want to stay inside during their
Yes.
break time and probably play games on the devices. So I think getting kids into sports will help a lot to boost their immunity because it does develop a lot of other systems like their respiratory systems and their cardiovascular systems, i.e., they can breathe better and they can actually, their heart works better.
Yes, and
Right.
it stimulates their appetite.
Right. And
And
so it promotes healthy eating habits as well. So I guess you can say it's almost like a cycle.
cycle, yes.
Right. So
Appetite and
everything,
sleep good, immune
right.
system get developed.
A routine, so routinely having breakfast, lunch, dinner with snacks in between of like fruits and maybe vegetables like a carrot or so, reducing the amount of um processed foods that they're exposed to. All of those things they actually bounce off each other and helps with the child's health, not only immunity, health on a whole. And now, the last thing that we had really wanted to touch on is vaccinations. Now, it's hit or miss. The truth is, what you take into your body, which means the food that you eat, as well as staying hydrated, it plays a huge role on the immunity. But vaccines are also very important.
Very important to
And
protect some serious illness to prevent death for
right,
young children and community.
yeah. And in Jamaica, huh, God bless the Jamaican government and the health sector who came up with this. We we have a child's passport and a vaccination schedule that we do push and promote for families to follow. Now, of course, it's always a choice for an adult whether or not they want the child to partake in a certain drug or get a certain vaccine, all of that. But we do highly recommend that kids here in Jamaica that they're fully vaccinated. And I'm very proud with what our healthcare system has been doing in terms of educating parents and also, well, young adults, teenagers, on how important vaccines are. And even so, for example, the human papilloma vaccine, the HPV vaccine, teenagers are the ones that get that vaccine. And we have doctors like my colleagues, Dr. Bashkar and I, who try our best to talk to parents and teens on the importance of getting their vaccines. And some vaccines is never too late, like the chickenpox vaccine.
That's true.
I believe that you can get
Even
that
hepatitis B.
hepatitis B and the chickenpox vaccines. So there's no age constraint on that. And I had a 50-odd-year-old patient that came in for the pneumococcal vaccine recently. So we do try to allow you to get what you need regardless of what stage you're in life. But for kids especially, there are vaccines that you need or that we highly recommend that you get at a younger age. Anyways, that was our TED Talk. I hope we're able to talk to you about topics that you find important. And of course, we're definitely going to have Dr. Bashar coming back to talk some more with us
Sure.
later down.